Hey everyone, welcome to RYGR Sports. I'm Yash,
And my name is Logan.
and today we'll start off by talking about the Eastern Conference semi or finals against the Cavs and the Knicks. Now, currently at the time of recording, the Knicks are up against the Cavs, 71-58 in the third quarter, and they're also up 1-0 in the series. I personally thought that Cleveland was going to be a little bit better than what they've portrayed, basically all of the fourth quarter last game and at the start of this game. You know, I got to give credit to the Knicks because they've been playing unbelievable basketball these last couple weeks. I mean, they swept the Sixers. They had a great series against the Hawks after dropping, I think, two of the first three games. Um, they've played phenomenal. Jalen Brunson has played lights out. I mean, he's done everything he's needed to do and more. Karl Anthony Towns, he's been really good in the paint. He's getting a bunch of rebounds. He's been really good on the defensive end. On the offensive end, he's all right, but I feel like he's never been, like top of the league type scorer or anything like that. But defensively, he'll give you good minutes. He'll obviously give you a lot of effort. Mikal Bridges has been playing unbelievable as well. He'll make big three after big three whenever you need him to. Josh Hart has also played amazing this series and the previous series. I think that looking at the Knicks right now, I think they just have such a deep roster. I feel like they're just really tough to beat. I don't think Cleveland's really got them in them. I actually do have the Knicks winning this series in 4 games at this point.
Yeah. What we saw the other night from Cleveland in that fourth quarter was just unacceptable. I mean, you talk about you're up 22 with like 7 minutes left, maybe like 8 minutes left. Like, what are you doing? You're clearly have game one in your hands. You go into the Garden. We're gonna steal game one and have nothing but confidence going into this series, and then you completely choke and blow it, and now you're probably gonna lose in 4 or 5 games. So, that's what we're looking at here. As I just see the Knicks hit another three, and now they're up 16. So it seems like New York is gonna go up 2-0 in the series. And I think that's just going to be enough to kind of just, destroy the Cavaliers' confidence. And, the Cavs probably win 1 or 2 games. But in no way do I see this Cavaliers team winning 4 games after what happened the other night against this Knicks team. And as you said, they swept Philly. The Knicks have so much confidence right now. They're playing such great basketball. When you look at this roster top to bottom, there isn't much, holes in this team. They have shooting in Miles McBride and Jalen Brunson. They have probably the best shooting center in the NBA in Karl Anthony Towns. They have size in Mitchell Robinson and Towns, and, elite defense with Josh Hart and OG Anunoby. This team can definitely make a run here in the NBA Finals. I think they're probably going to have to go up against OKC, which obviously is a tough task for anyone. But what we've seen from the Knicks so far in this postseason has been absolutely exceptional, and I think they cruise to a 5-game series win here against this Cavs team. Who, I thought they would have a shot. I originally had Cleveland in 7 against this Knicks team, but after that fourth quarter collapse, I just think it's going to be nothing but downhill for the Cavaliers from here on out. Obviously they're very talented. I think they can win both games at home. But do I ultimately think that will be the outcome? No. I think the Knicks definitely take one in Cleveland and then come back to the Garden for Game 5 and win. So I'm going to take, the Knicks in 5. When you look at this Cavs team, good season. You trade for James Harden mid-season. He's done some great things in this postseason, and he's also been very, he has underperformed in this postseason at times as well. If I had to grade this Cavaliers team season, I'd probably give them a B+. Making the conference finals as a 4 seed is very good. You beat the number 1 team in the Pistons in 7, which was a great accomplishment there. But I just think they kind of run out of gas here and ultimately lose to this Knicks team. So moving on to the second series that we currently have going
Logan,
on.
I actually did want to say something real quick.
Go ahead.
So, 2 things here. I've heard, since this is technically coming from the Cavs side of basketball, I heard multiple players on the Cavs say that this is Donovan Mitchell's city now. in regards of them talking about LeBron James, right? And I think you probably remember that clip of Max Strus after the Cavs beat the Lakers the first time this season, and saying that this is Donovan Mitchell City. I literally can put my life on it that if LeBron James was up 22 points in the fourth quarter of Game 1, they're not losing that game. Donovan Mitchell shot 0 of 8 in the fourth quarter with 7 minutes to go. And obviously he scored 0 points. He had no free throws. He did absolutely nothing. And on the other side of things, James Harden, I don't think he should be a Cav anymore. I mean, James Harden, all he's doing is just hurting his team. I mean, James Harden might actually be the worst playoff performer I've ever seen in my life. Like, for superstar standards, he is just abysmal. I mean, he kind of shows you why he can never lead a team. I mean, it's pathetic. How do you, even in Game 6 or Game 7, I understand the Cavs won to move on, but he shot 5 of 16. He had more turnovers. He's had more turnovers and field goals 6 times in this postseason run. How are you a superstar? Obviously, I believe he's in the top 75, right, of all time for the NBA team. Yeah, top 75 all time, and this is what you do in the playoffs. And it's not like it's just this one. It's just 1 year. It's year after year after year, and I think all it's doing is taking Cleveland. So this might sound kind of crazy, but like in a way, not really. If Cleveland wants to win this series, I think James Harden is going to have to play less minutes.
Yeah, they were clearly attacking James Harden defensively in that fourth quarter the other night, and that was part of the reason why they came back and won that game. So, I agree with you. James Harden, his playoff performances have not been up to his standard. We know how great of a player he is offensively over the course of his career, but in the playoffs, this dude has just not come through at all. Which is unfortunate to see because growing up, he was actually my favorite player as a Rockets fan. So, in the playoffs, he just is one of those players that just is a regular season player, and then once it comes to the playoffs, it's just a different player. So, that's unfortunate to see. Do I think he gets moved to a different team eventually? Maybe next year, maybe the year after. I'm not really too sure. I would think the Cavs hang on to him because they did give up their young point guard in Darius Garland. So I would assume he stays as Cav, but you never know. Moving on to the second series that we have going on right now, which is clearly the more interesting series in my opinion, which is the Thunder and the Spurs. Now this matchup was must-see basketball during the regular season, as both of these teams played each other extremely competitively, and San Antonio actually got the better of them throughout the regular season. I believe they went 3-1 against them in the regular season, or it might have been 3-0 or something like that. But
I think it was 3-1.
3-1, yeah. So what we've seen from these two teams, so far in this postseason has been what we expected. I think this was the matchup, the Western Conference Finals matchup that we all saw coming. I don't think any other team in the West really had a chance to, beat any of these teams. This is kind of a chalky matchup here, and we've had two really great games. I mean, that game one in OKC was absolutely phenomenal. Double OT, Spurs pull it out and steal one, which was, a great game to watch. I mean, I have him in my top 10 players of all time already.
Already?
Yeah. This guy is
absolutely Logan, bro. Logan, you can't have somebody in the top 10 all time if they don't have any accolades. But he has nothing.
I take accolades.
What is he? He has nothing.
More lightly than you'd think. I kind of just look at, more of the skill set of the player. We're probably not going to see anyone like this for decades. So
that actually might be I've never heard anybody say that aside from Flight. That's crazy.
And he's dominating the NBA, which we've only seen a few times in history. So that's a different conversation for another time. But what we saw from him in Game 1 was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I think he had 40 points, 15 boards. Just this kid is absolutely ridiculous. And that pull up three from 30 feet to tie the game was just an insane play. And he really led them to that Game 1 win in double overtime. Another talking point that I want to bring up, Stephon Castle, they have him running point guard with De'Aaron Fox out, and he has not been good. 20 turnovers combined in these first 2 games, which is unacceptable. I don't think Stephon Castle is a true point guard. I think he's more of a shooting guard type player. But with De'Aaron Fox out, they have to look to someone to bring up the ball and run the offense. And, Stephon Castle just hasn't come through. He did have that one poster dunk last night, which was a pretty insane play. But he has definitely underperformed so far in this series. Just turned the ball over too much. And against a team like OKC, who is really great defensively, you cannot be doing that. And that's part of the reason why they lost last night. Stephon Castle had like 10 turnovers. It just can't happen. But I think the Spurs definitely pushed this to Game 6. I do have OKC winning this series in 6. But I think San Antonio, if there's a team that can make it interesting, it's definitely the Spurs. They've shown they can beat OKC, and they even won the other night. So, looking at a 1-1 series so far, I think it goes 2-1 OKC and then back to 2-2, and then I think OKC takes the next 2. But this is definitely probably the best matchup we've seen in the postseason so far. But yeah, moving on to the Thunder side of things, I think we can all agree this team is unwatchable. When you look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and how he plays the game, the dude is falling after every single jump shot. It's just, no one wants to see that from a fan perspective. It's just, it's a brand of basketball that we've seen before. I know players like James Harden, Kobe Bryant have, mastered that form of basketball. When it comes to baiting fouls and getting a lot of your points from the line, it's I get it. Points are points, however you can get them. But from a fan perspective, it's definitely frustrating to watch because I know how good of a player Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is, and to watch him kind of play like this, it's something that not a lot of fans want to see, except you're an OKC if you're an OKC fan. But disregarding him, this team is very good. They have some really great defensive players. Lou Dort, Cason Wallace, Alex Caruso, Chet Holmgren. They're all just elite defensively. They've got shooters. This team is just far and away the best team in the NBA. And we probably see a repeat from them this year. I think they definitely go back-to-back. But as far as this series goes, 2 great games, and I think we're going to see 4 more very great games. But I think OKC is a little bit of a better team. I think they win this series. But I also wouldn't be surprised if San Antonio does push this to Game 7, and we do have a Game 7 series. So at the end of the day, I think the Thunder definitely are a little bit of a better team, and I ultimately have them winning in 6. But I'm definitely looking forward to some more really great games from these 2 teams.
Yeah, so obviously I agree with most of what you said. I actually do have the Spurs winning the series in 6. But, I think I'm going to start with the Spurs first. Wembanyama is, with my eyes, he's definitely one of the greatest players I've ever seen. I don't have him anywhere near my top 10 currently, but I'm very confident that by the end of his career, he's probably going to be somewhere in the top 10. He's got, I know it's kind of early stage, but he's got GOAT potential. Like, he really does. And if there's any player that can kind of rival Jordan or LeBron, it's Wembanyama. I don't think anybody else is even close when it comes to that. It's crazy. You think a 7'4" guy is just going to sit in the post and just dunk the ball and block shots. No, this man, his handles are elite. His three-point shooting's elite. Literally everything is elite. Even his mentality is elite. It's crazy. It's great to see this young man succeed. I know he had some injuries, but they were kind of freak injuries, like a blood clot. I believe it was specifically deep vein thrombosis. And then he had that concussion, I believe, in the first series where he kind of hit his head falling down forward. And a lot of the injuries he's had aren't what you think they'd be. You think a player of this magnitude, this size, would kind of have all these knee injuries and things like that, but he's just kind of had just these freak ones. So it's good to see that he takes his recovery and everything seriously. But he's a phenomenal player, right? He's going to do what he's got to do to go and win this series. Really, Stephon Castle has got to step up a little bit. He's done pretty good. He's actually played better than than a lot of people think. I do think offensively he's done good scoring. He's played great defense. His only issue right now that I see is he turns the ball over way too much. If he can cut down those turnovers, it's not like the Spurs lost this game by a lot. I mean, if he has just one or two less turnovers, the game could have just flipped, right? Because those turnovers that we had were in kind of bad moments. The Spurs would go on a run, then he'd have a turnover, and then OKC would score 8 straight. You can't let a team like OKC get, momentum. Another thing I think is if the Spurs do want to win this series, I do think they need De'Aaron Fox and Dylan Harper back. They got to be at full strength. I mean, OKC is just too deep of a team. It's just ridiculous how deep they are as a team. I mean, just during the season when I thought it couldn't get any better, they got Jared McCain, who's been playing out of his mind, right? The last 2 playoff series. I'm a huge LeBron fan, as you guys might know, and I had to watch him basically every time the Lakers would go on a run. It would be him making 3 after 3 after 3, and it was just sad to see because I thought the Lakers genuinely had a shot of winning your game or two. And then I just saw Jared McCain come in and just snatch those hopes away from me. Now, obviously, moving on to the OKC side, I cannot watch this team play basketball. It's actually embarrassing how all of them play basketball. I know Logan brought up SGA and how foul baiting is literally in a shooting motion at this point, but it's contagious. The entire team is just foul baiting all game, or actually fouling and not getting called for it. As you guys remember in Game 2, Hardenstein pulled Stephon Castle's hair, and he literally fell backwards, and they didn't call anything. This is embarrassing for the NBA, and this is definitely not the type of product that they want to be, providing. Because I'm sure if this keeps going on, there's going to be nobody watching basketball, and I think it's already kind of bad right now. Because, I feel like when it comes to other major sports, the NBA is kind of falling a little bit. I know a lot of people that don't watch NBA basketball nearly as much as they used to, just because it's a little unwatchable. Some of these games just get kind of crazy, and the refs dictate what's going to happen too much. And I feel like if this game was called fairly, I think the Spurs win this game because, and don't get me wrong, there was definitely some bad calls that they didn't make for OKC, right? I mean, that's normal. You're going to miss a couple calls. I'm not saying they got to make everything, but just consistently throughout the entire season, just favoring a team over and over again. And we watched the Suns complain about it. We watched the Lakers complain about it. We saw the Spurs, who are currently going through it. So it's not like it's just, one team that just got beat up and they're kind of just making excuses. You can go and watch a game and you can see how they play, and it's just not a good play style. So if I have to pick a team, I'm going to go Spurs. I think the Spurs do go all the way. Like I said, I have the Spurs winning the series in 6. I think Wembanyama is going to win. I never brought this up, but we should have. I'm going to talk about who I think is going to win the conference finals MVP, because now that they have that introduced. So I do have Wembanyama winning the conference finals MVP. Obviously, if they win, it's going to be him. Now for the East side, I actually have Josh Hart winning the conference final MVP. So I'd like to hear your 2.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think he's playing phenomenal right now. Even this game, he's playing great.
He's a triple-double type player.
Yeah.
He does have like 25 points tonight, which is, a number we really don't see from him. But, I think it goes to Jalen Brunson. Because
he's not playing that well tonight.
He's probably going to put up, close to 25 in every game of this series. I mean, he had
9 right now,
the other night. He led them to that comeback in the fourth quarter the other night, so I think he's going to probably pull away with the conference MVP in that series. And then on the other side, it's a little bit, tougher because this series is kind of a toss-up. You don't really know who's going to win. I think if the Thunder win, it's SGA, and I think if the Spurs win, then it's obviously Victor Wembanyama. So, that's kind of the lay of the land here with these 2 series going on right now. One of them probably won't be that competitive, and then the other one is going to be competitive. So, at the end of the day, I think all of us NBA fans are rooting against the OKC Thunder in this conference finals, and then most likely the NBA finals. Definitely don't want to see them win another title, especially after last year. So hopefully, Victor Wembanyama can start his GOAT legacy and win the Spurs their first title in like 10 years. So, that's kind of the outcome that I'm hoping for. I'd love to see a Knicks Spurs final. I think that's a great matchup. I think that was the rematch of the Cup final this year too. So
Was that the Cup final?
I think it was. Yeah, the Knicks won it, and then the Spurs beat OKC.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's the matchup that I'm hoping for. If the Spurs and the Knicks ultimately do go up against each other, I think it's a great series.
It's a wrap. The Spurs are literally just going to beat them up.
I do not think so. The Knicks are a very good team.
Well, I think it's going to go to 6 games. I just think that the games that the Spurs win, they're going to win by a lot.
I would lean San Antonio just because of Wembanyama. But both of these teams are capable of beating each other. So that's going to be my finals prediction. If that is the matchup, I have the Thunder beating the Spurs. So I will take the Thunder over the Knicks in 5, unfortunately. But that's just my prediction. And what about you? Who do you think is going to make it to the finals?
So I have Spurs and Knicks. I think, especially watching. Oh wow, the Cavs actually got it within 9. Assuming that the Knicks win tonight, I do have the Knicks making the NBA Finals, which is kind of crazy to say, but I think the Spurs win it. I think the Knicks get to it, and I think Spurs win it in 6 for both the Western Conference Finals and the NBA Finals. I'm hoping. Actually, I don't want to see this OKC win, so I'm hoping
nobody
Spurs.
Wants to see them. All right, guys. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed our breakdown of these 2 series. We're going to make a video once the NBA Finals comes out. I'm about, that matchup, obviously. So look forward to that. I mean, also leave a comment down below on, who you think is going to win the Conference Finals MVP and who you ultimately think is going to pull away with both of these series. But yeah, that's going to do it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our channel. And we will see you guys in our next video. See ya.
See ya.